hey, I like to just get it. Anything that I do, I like to see it succeed. So that was my push right there. You know, nobody's gonna hand me anything.
I would say you be out of your mind if you black and not gonna support a black business.
When you say I'm gonna leave a footprint or a mark in life, what does that look like?
Hello, everyone. This is Eliani with STL Black Biz. I am coming to you today with a new series called Black Ice is Just as Cold. I'm going to have entrepreneurs on here and business owners that are going to share their journey of entrepreneurship, of how they got to where they're at, maybe some stumbling blocks that they had to go through and things like that to inspire us. So again, I'm here to share what we are doing in our community because we're doing some dope things, y'all. And I just wanted to share that for you all to see. So my guest today is a lady I've been watching for a long time. She has her hands in a lot of things. She's doing a lot of things. She is not only known here in St. Louis, she is known nationally and now globally. And I'll let her explain it when she gets in. So I guess for today, I'm going to bring her on. Yay! Hair whisperer. Tendai, the hair whisperer.
Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Thanks for having me on.
And thanks for coming. You know, I tried to, many times I would have events to try to get you inside. Well, my husband's going to look at my schedule. I remember that. And you were really out of town a lot.
Yeah, that's when we were traveling like every weekend. So, I would want to say, yeah, but I said, let me not commit to something. And then, we'll be in DC that day. And I'm like, oh,
right.
So yeah, that thanks for being patient. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's fine. That's a good thing for you to say, I'm too busy. That's a good thing to me. So with that, I'm going to kind of jump right in. You are a cosmetologist, a barber, instructor, businesswoman, mother, wife, CEO. You have your own show on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Android, iPhone, and I've watched it. All of this from a woman who originally did not want to work in hair care. Am I right?
This is true. I thought I did not want to. I thought I didn't want to. I mean, well, you have a lot of different talents. You don't know which way to go, especially coming up. And I'm glad I wasn't forced to zero in on one thing. I was able to kind of just explore. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I grew up in the hair industry with my dad being a barber, and then everybody around me were barbers. So naturally, I'm going to try to rebel somehow. And I tried to run away from it, but it wouldn't run away from me. Like, it was like my shadow. Everywhere I ran, it was like, it's right there. So
right.
Yeah, I had to embrace it and stop running from it.
So that's how you ended up here?
Kind of, yeah. I never stopped doing hair, the whole time when I used to work in the music industry, and every time I was, doing music, that my side hustle was hair. So I was, cutting in the barbershop, doing hair, cutting hair and all that. Yeah, I think this is something that came naturally to me, and I kind of took it for granted, but eventually, after bumping your knees and scraping your knees so often, something just told me, focus on hair. Let's just focus on hair, which is what I have been doing all the time. It just progressed naturally into where it is now, but it started with me just accepting who I am, number one, and secondly, following those cues. Yeah.
So can you tell us more about your company?
Yeah, so Healthy Hair Solutions started, my husband and I came up with that name, Healthy Hair Solutions, because we started selling Whisper Whip, of course, and we started selling the shampoos, conditioners. We have like 40 different SKUs at this point, and we just introduced clothing. So I know, just cues, But anyway,
cues.
Yeah. So in that, the company came about because we wanted to have a mother company. So our mother company is THW Manufacturing Corporation, which is the Hair Whisperer. THW Manufacturing Corporation. And then under that is Healthy Hair Solutions. And that is where we do most of our selling. But now THW Manufacturing Corporation is where we actually help other businesses to be able to get hair products or beards. I mean, nail polishes, lip cosmetics, all kinds of things. So we're able to help manufacture and get people's products, private label even. So yeah.
So what's the story behind the hair whisperer? Who named you that? We all got nicknames. So
yeah. So there was a lady by the name of Lynn, Dr. Lynn Friend, and she was coming to me to get her hair done, and she started calling me the hair whisperer because I'm always explaining what I'm doing as I'm working on a person's head. I never just go in and just start working on it because I feel like well, first of all, what I do is not for the money. It's for empowerment. And that's where I find my joy. If I had to just go do hair for money, I would just lose my mind. Like, I can't do this. But it was actually helping people. So explaining to them why they were having some of the issues they were having with their hair. It helped me to help them. And it was really amazing. So in that, she said, you're like the hair whisperer. We were kind of jokingly saying that. I was like, I guess so, kind of like the dog whisperer or the horse whisperer. And we thought that was just hilarious. And so the crazy thing is that, the crazy thing is that later on, I would go places and other people would say, you're like the hair whisperer.
So what sparked you into doing texture talks? I attended, I don't know if this was your first texture talk, but this was at one of the old clubs that used to be on Washington and Jefferson.
The Rustic Goat.
And it looked like it was sold out. I loved it. I learned so much. How did that come about?
I had clients who I found myself in consultation saying the same things over and over and over again. Like each person would come in, I sit down, explain their texture to them, then talk to them about where they are on the chart and help them to understand how to get their hair to respond better and get curls and keep that and, not do this back and forth ping pong thing. So I just kind of like, what? This conversation, first of all of y'all would absolutely love each other if y'all were all in one room. And then I was like, what? Let me just set up something. I'm going to call it texture talk. And that's how it started.
Talking about texture of hair, we got this thing we call good hair, bad hair. So that good hair, bad hair thing, that's a whole nother show who got us thinking like that. Well, I'll leave that alone. But is there such a thing, and where do we get these terms from, and why do we use it?
Well, yeah, there is a such thing as good hair and bad hair. Good hair is hair that grows, and bad hair is hair that won't grow. So that's a problem. But the thing is that these things have come throughout generations. I was watching a documentary on Madam C.J. Walker not too long ago, and the women, these were older women. Whenever this video was shot, these women were older, and they were actually students of Madam C.J. Walker. They, were in that whole realm. And some of the things that the women were saying, like one lady was just like, the hair is just unruly. And it's just, our hair, it just grows unruly. And it's just, I think that a lot of it had to do with our circumstances as far as where we were. When I say that, in the hierarchy of importance, there were our importance. It wasn't important for anyone to worry about our beauty standards because most of us were too busy trying to survive. So it wasn't even an issue of that, and I think we adopted a lot of survival terms and a lot of survival, however good or bad they were, a lot of survival mechanisms, coping mechanisms, it's very, very deep, and it just kind of transitioned on. And it wasn't until probably more recently where people were changing officially the thought process with that. It started back in the 70s where you have people who were embracing their natural hair. We just lost Cicely Tyson, but she talked about that in her interview, how one of her characters, she wasn't feeling the character because her hair was straight. So she said she went to a barber and cut her hair off and told the barber to wash it. And the barber didn't want to do it. He was just like, you know, I don't want to cut your hair off. And she was like, no, cut it. He cut it a little bit, but she's like, no, cut it all the way off and wash my hair and let my natural texture come in. So there was one movie that she showed up to, and I'm just saying, they just have been, the beauty standards were not really geared towards us.
Right.
For specific reasons, which survival had a lot to do with it. And then you turn off a portion of yourself. I mean, looking in the mirror and seeing yourself as beautiful when all of the images were not celebrating that at all. Yes. But yeah, it's really amazing. And when you start really getting into it, it's a journey. Yes.
So entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. It's not. It's not. And I'll just say that. How did you push through some of the negativity that you may have faced, some of the naysayers? Did you ever say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not doing it. No. Or were you the opposite? Like, nah, I'm pushing on through. I'm gonna break down this brick wall.
You know, I've never felt that. You know, I've never looked at it like I'm gonna quit. You know, it's like, it's who I am. Mm-hmm. You know, you gotta understand, I've been in this since I was a baby. You know, my father's an entrepreneur, so that's all I know is how to make something out of nothing. Negativity, the naysayers, I don't even see them. I've learned to place it where it needs to be and give it the value and attention that it deserves when it deserves it.
So with that being said, you're coming from a family of barbers. Your dad was a business owner. Talk a bit about generational wealth. We talk about generational wealth, and that's been said over and over. What's your thoughts on that? How do you think that works? Is it possible for us to actually have that?
Yeah, that is a huge portion of my thought process lately. We've been talking about, and my husband and I, we've been talking about generational wealth and how you set yourself up for that. Because I think what I've seen just from where I'm looking, I was listening to a podcast, and they were saying how they were talking about the percentages of different ethnicities that leave something besides debt to their children. When we look at our starting point, spectrum wise, you know, we're coming again from not too long ago having to survive. And, you know, the last thing on somebody's mind was generational wealth. It was just generational life. Can we survive? Yeah. So, you know, understanding the therapy behind that and working through all of those different levels of trauma. Generational trauma is what we've inherited. Mm-hmm. And so at this point, you know, understanding what it is, looking it in the face, and then saying, okay, I'm not going to do that. So now what do I do? You're still behind. You know, what do I do now? Part of that is understanding how finances work.
Why is it important to support Black businesses? We talk about this all the time. Support Black, buy Black.
Because we are just as good as any other business. Good business is good business, you know, and no matter whether they're Black. This is what I tell people. When people go to my website, I want them to wonder. I've had people ask me, is this a Black-owned company? I want them to wonder, because I don't want you to be able to just say, oh, don't support me because I'm Black. Support me because it's good. And
that's what we want to get to.
Yes.
I want to get to the point where we don't have to say, and this is a Black-owned business. This is a Black-owned business. Well, yeah, I want to get to the point where we don't have to say the first Black woman, the first woman, the first this, the first.
I want us to not be abnormal. I want us to be the norm. I want good business and big business to be the norms.
You have access to millions, literally you have access to millions of viewers, millions of people through Exposure TV. Mm-hmm. And so I have Roku, I have Hulu, so I sit and watch it. I'm all excited, and I actually recorded it because I was going to share some things on Facebook and say, hey, She's a member of STL Black Biz. This is what
Yeah.
she does, and I want to do that because I like pushing stuff.
Thank you.
You're the first. In addition to that, you are the first female to have products in May. First, here we go again with the first. The first Black female to have products in Macy's, and you're going to be, is this true, the first Black female to have products at Fresh Time Grocery Store, which is going to be with the City Foundry, which is what I am so looking forward to.
Yes.
So what's next? You're always doing something. What I'm just like, what's next?
Man, listen, I'm excited. I'm so excited. So yes, through Meyer Food Group, that opportunity came, and that's Fresh Time Market. The first location is the Foundry, so I had a chance to meet with them, and we're definitely going to be in the Foundry. So I'm like, ooh, excited about that. But Meyer Food has 250 stores. So what I did, my husband and I, we sat down, put together a presentation, and we started working with Meyer Food Group to get into the stores, all over. So we'll see what happens. I've got some good feedback so far. So I'm just going to keep on plugging away and listen. And this is not overnight. Like the whole time we've been working on Healthy Hair Solutions, we've been trying to ask questions about how to do this. And if you are not solid with your nose and understanding, hey, this is just a process. If you're not solid there, a lot of people turn around and go the other direction because it's not for the faint of heart, like you said. But it's possible. You're either going to do it afraid or not do it at all.
I get so excited when I'm in Facebook. I'm like, oh, she's doing, I don't even know this woman. And I'm like, oh, I just get like super excited, like I know them. And that's with anyone. If I see you doing something,
You really do.
exciting, stepping out. And then when I hear your story too, I'm like, like a testimony. I just get like really super excited.
See?
And that just inspires me too. It puts a little flicker in me to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that to me, it's kind of cool to see how you light up talking about that. And just what we talked about right just before we got on the camera, how you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Yes. To do something that you've been wanting to do. So shout out to you and kudos for walking in your purpose. This is kind of cool. We need this as entrepreneurs. We need you. We need somebody to help us to, like, okay, we are doing the right thing. It's like that celebrating person and sharing and all that. This is great.
Yes. So we're going to close out with one question, one last question. What is the number one piece of advice you would give to an entrepreneur or someone looking to grow beyond St. Louis?
Social media is such an amazing platform. You literally have the world at your fingertips. www is the World Wide Web. So be strategic in your approach to groups and things that you're involved in. Look outside of your circle, connect with people who don't look like you, who are not speaking your language. That will take you in a lot more doors than just being stuck in one, So I try to learn a few things. Ni hao, hola.
I really, really, really enjoy your interview. You have so much knowledge and a wealth of information. And I'm just thinking, man, she could do a class on that. She could do another class on that. So, which probably you gonna do some more classes?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I enjoyed our time, everybody. This is Tendai Morris, Hair Whisperer.
Thank you so much.
Where can they go for your products? Where can they find you?
So you can find me at healthyhair.solutions. That's my website. You can also on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at healthyhairsolutions_. Also on Facebook under Healthy Hair Solutions or the Whisper Whip Facebook page. I have a TikTok, but I don't really know how to work it. So I'm learning.
Yeah, I know your son is trying to
Yeah, he got me learning these little dance. I thought, boy, I used to get down back in the day, but he thinks it's funny. But also Exposure. Don't download the Exposure television app. So on your smart device or your smart television, you can now get the app on your iPhone too. So you can download Exposure television, and that would be, you know, an app for you to find. It's another Black-owned station. I'm gonna go ahead and plug that. Black-owned station, Tam Lawrence. Yes, and she is the CEO of that station. Yeah, you guys, if you have content that you want to put on television, she can help you do that too. So
Okay. So guys, we are done. Again, thank you for coming in. I loved our interview. Again, you gave so much good information, lessons, history, a little bit of everything.
These glasses are so blurry.
Yeah, Lord, I have to have my reading glasses on because I can't see. So
I feel like, you know, remember Fred Sanford used to put them glasses on, his eyes was like super big.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I can see.
That thick.
Oh, that was on Harlem Nights. He's like, eyeballs got big as I don't know what.
I forgot about that. Okay, y'all, we out of here.
Have a good night.